You come in here? You gotta be quiet.
You gotta be quiet, puppy, because I just hit the live button, but there's such a lag when I go hit the other things. This is kind of adorable.
Oh, I'm coming in with an entrance, am I?
Right? Yeah, I was kind of just, I wasn't like setting you up, for failure, but I just thought it would be kind of like, ooh, look at him, grab the dog. This is the authentic podcast. That's not a podcast yet. While I finish my shake from this morning, I have a dog in my lap too, and then I got a posty. Here we go.
I have to pretend to chew on this chew toy so the dog will be interested in it.
Oh, really? Kind of adorable.
Do you want it? Can you sit and wait your turn?
We're not sure.
Is it your turn? There you go. Now be occupied for an hour or so.
Does that actually work if you say be occupied? It didn't work on humans, right? I tried that with my children so many times. And then it did work on the dogs, but only when there was like 4 of them now. In this one. But then for the most part, somehow I am meant to entertain all the people in the things. So I guess this is why I have a sales job and whatever this is, the web series. And hold on as I move. Are you okay? I'm arguing with the dog here. I think, okay. Internet seems stable. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
This is good news because my internet's been crappy. So maybe I finally figured, like we did the upgrade and then the upgrade did nothing. So maybe now things, I don't know. I'm not going to mess with the juju, but maybe it's because I'm doing this very special day. Many of you might be out there and be like, oh, is it Tuesday? Because that's Tori's little face. No surprise. I'm here for several reasons, right? The most important being I have a very fun guest and we needed to talk about things very, very quickly. And I'm going to let him talk about himself here in just like 1 second. And 2, I'm traveling tomorrow. So some of you I may see in Salt Lake City for Eldorado regional training. I don't know. I'm going to condom charmer all over those people. But when that happens, I'm in a hotel and sometimes the Wi-Fi sucks or all the time the Wi-Fi sucks. So this way it's recording now, like in the StreamYard, so I can have it set up to play again on Tuesday in case anyone's like, well, I count on this. This is when I know I need to clock out or whatever it is. I don't know what I don't know. I just have a big imagination. So it'll still stream, but it'll be what Cam calls the telethon, right? But this way, if you do still want to connect or like comment or anything, either Cam or myself will still stay connected enough to make sure that if you wanted to comment or participate or had any questions, we will take care of that for you. What else? One more disclaimer. This is a wannabe web stream podcast thing about the business side of the adult retail industry. That includes sexual health and wellness. And sometimes we talk about items, or a lot of the times we talk about items that are meant for 18 and over. If you don't want to talk about this kind of stuff or hear about it, please kindly scroll. All right, McQueen, who's left? Where do we find them? All right. So hello, if you're still here. Surprise. I know it's Monday, but it's Tuesday, and you might see this episode again tomorrow. But maybe this one will be like the top play because we did it twice. I don't know. Break the algorithm. So I'm calling it Manic Monday because I like ABBA a lot, and they've been in my head. So it's a Manic Monday. Oh, look, it's Leah. Yay, yes. Leah. We love you. I like how I turned the dog to see the comment. Like, look, it's Leah. That was like, I'm like, look, you see my dog here? This is McQueen. He's a chewy. He's a very handsome boy. What do you think? Oh, he needs a lot of attention, but he's a little lover muffin. Oh, we love you. Thank you, Leah. Okay. Sidebar. It's Monday on a Tuesday, Salt Lake City. Maybe you're going to get bonus episodes, blah, blah, blah. Welcome to Tuesdays with Tori. Okay. Everybody with us? Great. Cam, do you want to tell us, maybe kick us off with our condom joke of the day because I amuse myself with bad humor, and then tell everybody why you're here and we had to do things, toot sweet. We couldn't even wait till next week. Like, let's make it happen.
The joke I was provided said, why don't condoms ever panic? Because they know how to roll with it. That was probably a good theme of the joke.
You know, it is funny because I really couldn't roll anything. My fine motor skills, I'm not great with the little tiny crafts. Like, I'm forbidden in my family to do any of the painting, right? Like, my mother-in-law redid her kitchen, but was starting in the pantry, and like, you know, the kids had to go help and they could do extra money to paint. I was not invited. It's just, it's not my strength. They're like, there, Tori. You could plan something. It's fine. So that kind of rocks. That the joke is I don't think I could roll like a cartwheel, like roll. I think I would break something anyways. So
they always told me as a kid I'd never get anywhere smoking weed, but it actually turns out to be my ability to roll is what got me that first attention, and keeping smoking weed has gotten me a career somehow in the sex toy industry. But
yeah, let's talk about how you've always managed, right? Like, we were kind of, I didn't want to say diddly, but like hanging it before we got this on. I was like, oh yeah, we'll talk about how you just rock. And a lot of us met you at Champs. I know that's how we got connected. But then on top of that, it's you've had the ability to, and it hasn't been an easy 5 years, but the ability to kind of see gaps from both sides of different industries, and you've made that happen. So I will applause. You're hustling, man. You're making it happen. And hi, Alejandra.
Well, the industry.
Introduce yourself and do all the things. It's yay. What's happening, man?
It is my assertion that the industry does need a little bit of a change up, a little bit of a freshness. I don't know if that's by selling smoke products or clothing or whatnot, but I definitely have seemed to have the presence in the industry to stir the pot in a positive way and just try to inspire people to think a little bit differently. Not saying half of what I say or everything is right, but I definitely know that I provoke thought and help to get to that point. So,
which is why I love bugging you, and had to have you come back on the show. I was going to say I'll find some clips later to bother you with it, but things have been busy. I was like, wow, it's like version 2.0. Look at how far we've come just in, I don't know, what, 2 years?
Well, it's version 3.0. Not a lot of people know that I started in retail 10 years ago. It's Fred Gates's birthday today from Pleasures Entertainment. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. But that was actually my first boss in the industry. What's up, Rodney?
That's sweet.
That's yeah, I got a fun story about Rodney here in a second.
Oh my God. Okay. We'll pin it for later. Look, I'll star it so I'll remember. Okay.
But I started working at Pleasures Entertainment just right after my my 21st birthday. And it was a really important experience for me because I had just gotten popped selling weed. So I'm going into adulthood with a new felony. Nobody would hire me. I was definitely still addicted to drugs at that point in time. And the industry kind of saved my life in a way before I ever showed up with you B2B guys 10 years ago. I was cleaning arcades. If you know me, you know I'm not really into porn. And that's why I work well in this industry, because I just do not care to bother the film stars. So I got really into the toys. There was a purple thruster that Evolved sold, and
I know the toy you're talking about too. I think, but yeah.
Pleasures paid out a hourly plus commission structure, so I would make $9 an hour. But if I really pushed, I could jump into like $20-$25 an hour, and this is 2014 2015 when that was something. So it really got a lot of my sales chops going, but that's where I got into the industry. And it's funny because before that, I was a rather successful young stand-up comedian on the local scene. I was paying my rent doing that. I started getting sponsored by dispensaries and head shops and stuff like that. I took a really big hit on a show with Richard Pryor's daughter. We produced it. We pulled it off, but I spent every dime that I had ever made in my life, and then a whole bunch that I didn't make, and ended up in debt. Had to pay that off somewhere, and landed myself with a felony for trafficking weed. So by the time I got to the adult industry, I had already done a lot in the cannabis industry and the entertainment industry, but I was absolutely desperate. So I got on with Pleasures, and after I left Pleasures, I worked on event marketing, experiential marketing, a lot of contract work that really didn't care to background check. Found myself to be a rising star in that industry, and eventually the two things came together when I started working at Champs. The smoke industry opinions and a lot of the things they say about the sex industry still have a lot of education to be done there. So over the last year, I have been looking at other ventures, but I've wanted to stay on with something within the entertainment scene, something where I can work with all of the manufacturers, all of the retailers. I didn't want to sign on specifically to one brand, and Kermit over at Lifelong kind of gave me the ability to do that, where, you know, I'm selling point of sale, so I'm still a neutral party. And this ToyChats opportunity came along thanks to my friends over at Our Erotic Journey. And it really...
we had them on, maybe it was a couple months ago now. Just kidding. Our friend Scott. Go on.
I love those guys. But they're the ones that hooked up the opportunity. And I sat down with ToyChats, who I thought that they had been around for a few years. And I was pleasantly surprised to find out that they only started their company earlier this year, so it's a brand new startup.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I do want to. I still want to hear all these fun stories, and you got to tell me about Rodney's stuff. But I know I wrote down, like, for anyone new, what exactly is ToyChats and how does it work? But it's so new that I'm not even. I mean, granted, I'm more in the condoms and lube space most of the time, but I don't know about ToyChats, so this is going to be informative for everybody. And also, hello, Emily.
Well, and that's the goal with ToyChats, is to be informative. This is a B2C facing platform. It's my goal, our goal, to be the ultimate review hub for sex toys, and obviously bringing me on will expand into a little bit more 21 and up stuff, mainly revolving around like hard products, like physical products, less than consumables. But we want to be the review hub. There is not, to my knowledge, other than I believe it's the National Alliance of Sex Toy Testers, which Carly Seif is part of. There hasn't really been an organization get together to provide this platform for the consumer. I've been doing a lot of surfing around Reddit. I've been doing a lot of surfing just around the consumer area, period. And I really think ToyChats is going to end up being that center point to where, if you have a question about a sex toy, if you're trying to figure out what to buy, if you're trying to figure out what's best for you, we are where that consumer is going to visit to get that education. On the other side, with the manufacturers, we want to provide honest reviews, but we also want you to be in control of your narrative. We want it to be a platform where the consumer understands the toy that you're trying to make. You can paint a picture that's beautiful, that has meaning to you. Somebody else can see it and see completely different meaning in it. With us, we want to get your vision across just a little bit, just the way you want it, I guess. I really am enjoying working through the startup, because right now we're all surveys, we're all feedback, we're all, how can we be the best resource to the industry, and more so to the consumer. So there's a lot of stuff to build on, but I'm really excited to start building.
I know my brain's already like, wait, don't ask too many questions because we'll have to build on that. But I'm like, okay, well, what's the 5-year plan? I'm interested in the roadmap. How are you supporting the fact that you're getting surveys? How are you getting participation in surveys? Because anytime I ask anybody for information, you get this whole, like, I'm either going to give you false information and see if you can actually tell the difference, or I've been burnt before and I keep everything close to my chest, right? Like, we don't need to elaborate, but I can imagine your brain going like ping, 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 because there's unfortunate red tape when it comes to the adult industry, as I'm sure you found out.
Well, and that's why I like having our own platform. One of the things that I pitched initially getting through the door was a plan to cross-promote on social media. I do think at the end of the day, we will be known as a social media company just as much as we are our own platform and website.
Oh, great. You teach me.
Well, we house the content within ToyChats. And having the right people and having the right knowledge to take that toy review and give the reviewer a video clip that can also be collaborated with the that can also be collaborated with the manufacturer, that gets the point of the advertisement and the point of the toy across without crossing those lines set by Meta. Or TikTok's a little bit harder, but mainly Meta, mainly Facebook and Instagram is what we care about. So that's not in play yet, but we have a lot of things on the horizon where those are the goals that we are working towards. Because that is the need in the industry among manufacturers, is nobody can seem to figure out Instagram because the internet hates us.
It's frustrating.
I don't want to be dark and emo about it, but you look at.
I'm not sure that it's hate, but it's don't want responsibility for somebody else hating what we do, right? Like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want someone. No, none of that. Which is just lazy, in my opinion. Not that anybody asked, but my name is on the show, so. But I understand it just an explanation does not mean I agree, but that's typically what it is. They don't want to take responsibility for what might happen in this the dark category of adult and sexual wellness. Ha ha ha. Oh goodness.
Well, and it's not a dark category, nor has it been for really 20 years. I think a lot of times when people think about the adult industry, they think about porn, they think about arcades. We don't post any porn at ToyChats. We post suggestive material, sex toys, but it's an after the fact review. You're not going to go to ToyChats and see somebody getting railed by the toy they're about to review. You will go to ToyChats and see somebody wearing nipple clamps as part of the review. I mean, the line isn't that thick.
If it's actual product review, fair, right? But yeah, where is the line? And I guess that's where you guys are finding it. And it's hard. It sounds like you need a person for this, not an AI, which I'm always thinking about too. It's supposed to be like, the way that it's growing, it's going to outsmart us in 2 years anyways, is the last thing that I heard. So, this seems like a AI proof job. Some human's going to have to figure out that boundary between this is educational and this is, what's that other website? The fetish one, right? This is FetLife, where it's like people advertise on there, but I'm like, how successful is it on FetLife versus if you could figure out Instagram, right?
Well, I mean, I'm kinky, so I've been on FetLife since I've been.
Does it make you want to buy? I feel like you're relationship shopping, not necessarily nipple clamp shopping.
And that's the thing that I've always found interesting about the FetLife platform is FetLife isn't set up for relationship shopping. FetLife is set up to be a community. If you actually dig into it, the developers of FetLife kind of discourage the relationship shopping. They really, and I don't know them personally, but just from my critiques of their site, they really are trying to be more of just a kinky MySpace.
They wanted to be what Reddit ended up being for every category.
Yeah, I'd say that. But there's also a lot of good industry questions and consumer knowledge within Reddit that I'm figuring out too. So. It's almost
like being the expert on all those like Reddits and Quora and like, hey, I could actually answer this for you. Is a needed job, but like, how do you make money on that?
Well, and that's where ToyChats comes in. We pay a minimum of $40 per video review to our reviewers.
All right. Let's talk about this. How do you launch something like this, and why it's better than an affiliate program in my brain. Even though we need to talk about the model, why would something like this be so powerful? Not just for reviewers and brands, but say businesses, because potentially there's statistics involved or any sort of data you might be able to kind of qualify.
Well, so. As far as paying out the reviewers, that's necessary. So if you want to become a reviewer and start making that money, so much for my advertising background. We'll just turn it on. You can go to toychats.com. You can click on the Become a Reviewer tab. You can register with us there. We're about to revamp that with some more options, but get in early with us. And then we pay out per Visa gift card. Makes it easier on everybody for a multitude of reasons. And yeah, if you give us a quality review, we approve it. We post it on our website. We pay you out. Give me a follow-up question on that one. I gave the drill.
Yeah, no, okay. So why do you feel like this sort of content is I mean, we touched briefly on why our side of the industry needs this sort of content, but why do the consumers need this sort of content, and why would anybody want to share this? Why should anybody care? Cam, why should we give a crap? What are you going to do with this? How is it going to change? How's it going to impact us? I'm scared of change, sir. Hold my hand. Tell me how you're going to make it better.
Well, the cool thing about this project is it's not changing anything other than a lot of first-time consumers, I believe, will get turned off to sex tech or just marital aids, so to say.
Romanticals.
Based off of a bad experience of a first $100 purchase. I really think that first impression, no matter what store they're going to or ordering offline, really makes or breaks a customer forever that ends up putting money in all of our pockets. So at ToyChats, if they have something that they have their eye on, or even if they're standing in the store with a clerk, it makes it easy enough to search the toy on our website. You can see 3 or 4 people that have tried the toy. They're real people. Some of them are influencers. Some of them are just doing this because they want $40 and they're good at it. You can get their real opinion and you can make that purchase that keeps you coming back, that keeps you comfortable with it. Also, because we don't feature porn on the website and we're really trying to keep it tasteful. It provides a safe space to kind of break that anxiety barrier. I don't know. I remember the first time I walked into a strip club. I remember the first time I walked into an adult store, being young and naive. A lot of these people aren't young. They're just naive. They've never done it. Getting past that door or getting past that, just that initial web page, that can be really scary for a lot of people.
Yeah. Go back to work, babe. But look, he says hi.
So we want to eradicate that fear. We want to take out some of the social stigma and just let people be educated instead of walking into an adult store grabbing the first thing on the shelf. You know, because you can walk into one of the shops in our industry, and you either have the most educated person that might be a little overbearing, or you got the guy that doesn't give a fuck and he's just going to let you spend $100 on whatever. So we want to be that primer. We want to direct them to the right toy, to the right store, to the right retailer, just so they buy another toy and they're comfortable doing it. The more sex toys that actually get used, the world becomes a better place.
I wanted to mention Leah over here. She says, we love her. But again, I love picking her brain because she's freshly off the retail floor. She's like, hey, it would be nice to see store clerks using this as an asset during sales. And I love that idea because I remember I struggled with just getting education out as someone that was schlepping lubricants around. But it was always like, hey, we had an update. Now we got to reprint. We got to reship. Did it happen? I'm spending all this money on paper. And then there'd be a turnover, right? Not everybody enjoyed that job. And it's like, okay, well, how do you keep the communication up? I love the idea of having like a website that's like non-biased, but also riddle me this, Batman. Sometimes, or a lot of the times I hear that store employees don't have access to the internet on the sales floor. So then I'm like, maybe this is rhetorical. I'm like, but I'd be interested in other creative measures that could help outside of like this website is going to have all the information, and I can't wait to dump more information on you later. But no, that's just interesting. How do you help everybody if you can't use the interwebs? And look at our girl here. Okay.
Even if the store employee doesn't have access to the internet or they're not allowed to use their cell phone, the customer has a cell phone in their pocket. You tell them to pull out the cell phone, go to toychats.com and search the toy.
See?
And I was going through answering some questions on the r/sex toys Reddit the other day. If anybody knows a moderator from there, please link us. But I was going through that page the other day answering some questions. And I mean, I work here and I was very pleasantly surprised with most everything that there was somebody asking about this toy. I had a review or 2 or 3 that I could throw them the link to. And I was like, yo, hey, did that help? Like, let me know. And all of them were just like, hell yeah, man. Thank you. Like, that rocks. So we're really positioned at ToyChats to be a community resource. And because we do have solid investment behind us, we're not going after the manufacturers and trying to juice them for every dime they have. We're not we're not desperate. Like, we have a really good foundation under us to be a resource to the adult novelty industry and the community of people that use sex toys. I mean, they talk.
Everybody talks at some point, but
I'm banned on Reddit.
Not going to be able to hook you up with anybody on Reddit. But you know what? There's no shame here. Say it loud, say it proud, girl. You're accepting your consequences. Do I sound like a mom there for a minute? Don't do it if you can't accept the consequences. Oh, look, Ron's here too. Hi, love.
Oh, Ron.
Now it's a party. We were talking about education and using websites as on the sales floor, but without making your manager mad. Or pissing off the manufacturers, which was going to lead me into my next question I wanted to ask you. What happens if a bad review comes in?
It's honest. If a bad review comes in, a bad review comes in. As much as we send toys out and basically the reviewer gets to pick out of our arsenal. So that is the house advantage to the manufacturer, is the reviewer is ordering a toy that they want and that they have high hopes for. These are honest reviews, and our reviews do not intertwine with our advertising sales, other than we'll be sure to put more toys on the shelf for the reviewers to review, if you're advertising with us. But if your toy sucks, they're going to tell you. We try not to go after toys that suck. But as much as you can send your toy in and have it reviewed and have us try to set you up for success, if a content creator goes to the store and just buys your toy and writes a review on it, we still give them the $40. You just didn't provide the toy. But this is an honest review site, and there will be some bad reviews that come through, and it might lead to some awkward conversations with me and my manufacturer friends. But that's also what's going to put the value in those good reviews, which is most of our stuff, because we're going after stuff that's cool and we want to tell the world about. So
yeah. No, I'm glad you brought that up, where it's like, I know I've got friends that are working on starting businesses, and it's like, hey, how do I tell my investors or my manufacturers, right? The people that are paying for me in advertisement, that like nobody likes it and you're ruining my brand. That's a whole other, like, having hard conversations, but they do happen. Also, Drea kicks ass because she had this other cute, I think you can see it on Super Chat later. Because she's banned on Reddit. It's their loss. She is a freaking delight. But thank you for mentioning that her coworkers, they do all the education and they have access to the internet. But because she's a delight, her Wi-Fi password is a bag of dicks. And I just needed to say that out loud because it's amazing. And I hope this makes it into my reels in my head that I will make someday.
I love it.
Ryan
says his two favorite people. I didn't realize there.
That's why I was like, go back to work, babe. Maybe he is. I told you he's selling boats now. So fun.
Well, and that's Leah, where you say it also helps with improving development. That is a really nice mutual opportunity between ToyChats and the industry, because as much feedback as our reviewers will provide to the company that they can read directly, we want, like I said, we want the feedback from the manufacturers, from the industry, from not only our potential advertisers, but just people that make a living on sex toys in general, because we want to draw the blueprint of what the consumer is thinking about our industry entirely.
If you can't stand the heat, don't get in the kitchen kind of deal. Like, by the way, if you don't want actual critical, if you don't actually want a critique that makes sense, then don't be here.
Yep.
Ooh, Blanca's on Reddit.
Yes, Blanca's one.
She said she made it on Reddit. This is good news. She's on Reddit.
I am as close, if not closer, with Blanca than I am with you. I love that woman, and she's honestly somebody that, you know, when she makes a step in the industry, you should really watch what she's doing and probably follow suit a little bit, because that's a smart woman right there.
Oh, Blanca, I didn't even pay him to say that. Even though I try to tell her all the time, you know, sometimes it's nice to hear from other people. I hope you heard it. It was recorded, so I can send the clip to you. When it see, love you too. We love you, Blanca. Yay. Same with Leah. She sent me a really nice message and I had to screenshot it because sometimes I get in my head, right? If I don't let the demons out, the cage gets too small. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Nobody cares. I gotta get back to work, right? You know, all the things, that voice. And you know, so I'm like, I'm screenshotting this. Like I may frame it at some point where she said just like a really nice thing. So it's like those little things. Sometimes you need it.
I mean, this year sucks for everybody. The world is absolutely spinning off of its axis right now. So if we can make it through 2025, I think we'll all be in pretty good shape on the other side. I'll tell you, not everyone's going to make it.
I wish maybe people are out there will get tagged later. I've heard this is worse than, if not equal to, when there was a big shift between DVDs, right? It took up a lot of shelf space and retail stores, and then the shift of toys coming in and how everybody had to adapt to that. I wasn't around, you know, I was part of the lube war wave of things in the last 10, 15 years, but it would be interesting, like, right, like how what measures were taken then and which ones were successful, because we don't know. As an industry, we've been like, we're either super brand new or all over the place. It's hard. We don't have a ToyChats resource to be like, where has the industry gone and what made sense?
For all of us, it's really just going to be about listening to the consumer. And, you know, I've always had like my A&ME altitude tight knit group that I know you guys, Blanca, you know, most of the P3 people through, but there's also a lot of people that have just gone out on their own and have found success on direct to consumer stuff on their own brands. And I do think that just listening to the consumer and adapting to what we're hearing is going to be exceptionally important for everybody's success and well-being. The industry is not like it was. Everybody is trying to find new options. So I'm hoping the platform of ToyChats also, you know, kind of bringing in all of the other social media that is out there, that is talking about sex toys, really just gets the message back to us in the industry in a clear and concise manner where nobody's having to translate all of the just toxicity and bile that comes out of that world as well. I really do think that we'll be able to consolidate it over here and have a solid message to bring back to the industry and one to bring to the consumer. I think it'll be a really good middleman conversation piece.
All right. I see you. What's one challenge maybe in the industry right now that you think doesn't get talked about enough, that like you're really excited to maybe bring some influence to, right? Or spark some imagination?
I mean, the biggest thing has definitely always been just thoughts and innovation for me. Being willing to adapt to and embrace change, which this industry did very well on the last project I was working with all of you guys. The smoke side, not so much. With this project is figuring out what change needs to be there. So it really is the same struggle that I thought was the struggle when I was just a retail clerk 10 years ago. Is a lot of adult stores you walk into and they look like carbon copies of the next one without the same ownership. Making the stores, making our presence unique and special, like I see a lot of stores doing. Those are the stores that I see being successful right now, especially the ones hosting like in-person events and things of that nature. Getting the consumer involved with it is it'll grow naturally on its own from there. But I think a stagnant energy is and always has been the number one thing the adult industry faces.
I like it. Back to your, like, you get adapt or die, which I get it. I don't like change as much as the next person because I fear what I don't know. And oftentimes
we're also kind of pack animals over here, which I love because
animals that are all backed in the corner, desperate. Yeah, tell me it's bad for you too.
Well, but the strength of that side is camaraderie, and that's where I think we all fall into doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Now and again, and I think that's why I've had so much success in the industry, being kind of a disruptor. Because hey, let's try this. I think there's some ROI on it. I think we can make it happen. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but just continually keeping it fresh, I think will be the key for at least the brick and mortar success.
Blanca says she's way down with in-store events, and I agree. That's a whole other podcast, web series, whatever, about events. Love it. And then our girl, she needs to go post on her FetLife and her OnlyFans because she can't go on Reddit. I needed to update you with that because I enjoy that she's still telling me the story. Love stories. Okay. Last question, and then other people can ask questions, and then I'm going to do the rapid fire questions.
Can I say something on that, though? Because I really do encourage stores when, like, those Halloween events come along, or somebody wants to sell you a table for $150 and they're going to have 1,000 people through the door and they want go do that event. Support your community. Your community will support you back. Be a good representative of the dildo sphere, and it will come back. Like those community events. I mean, out here, there's one that they're doing at the Virgin. They're supposed to have like 5,000 people through it. They're charging $300 a table. If I had the retail store I wanted right now, I would do it. That's one thing I'm going to be on my colleagues at ToyChats about, is getting out there and being at AVN and being at Exotica and being at all those consumer-facing events and bringing some of our, advertising partners with us and showing them cool stuff. Like, everybody knows I'm obsessed with that like a kitten squirrel.
It is an adorable squirrel. We love the squirrel.
We just did an excellent review on that. I would love to partner up with those guys and see their stuff on our tables. And just getting out there and engaging is what's going to bring the consumer to ToyChats to read the stuff, to bring the consumer into your store to read the stuff. I mean, it's really hard to get a personal connection in the sex toy world, and we can go out there and capture that consumer and capture their data and capture that sale a lot easier than we make it seem. I
look forward to where all this is going as someone who wishes. I love data, but also I love figuring out why the data says more. And one thing when we've talked about this before, you were saying like, hey, you got to get out there and you need to talk to people and you need to network. That's one thing I struggle when I'm doing any sort of like executive overviews where you need to speak data, right? Because that's, unfortunately, the business world, or fortunately, whatever it is, the business world, the fastest way to communicate, right? The fastest language is math. So you got to show the numbers so people understand what you're actually saying. But you also need to make sure that you don't pinhole yourself in the wrong numbers, because there are very strong things like events and networking, or what I like to call like the girlfriend experience, where it's just that word of mouth. Someone says, oh my God, I love this like hair care product, or I love this condom right here. I have a free one. Somebody just trying it. Like, how many people I should keep track, but there's a lot of people that are coming back to me and like, hey, I really did like that graphene condom, right? The one flex one. Like, I actually used it and I kind of was like blowing it off, and then I was like using it and I was like, wow. And so that it's hard to track that word of mouth, but that is the most powerful marketing sort of campaign that I feel like anybody can do, right? Just having a referral from somebody else.
Yeah, cross promotion and word of mouth. Just the most places you can say the same thing to the most different audiences and have the same things coming out of multiple reliable mouths. Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at Andrea says, look into your local distributor. She saves money shipping the local smoke distributors. Okay, so you save money there. Interesting. Shopping around in different channels. That's and yeah, she's given out. Oh, I love the Laurels. I should touch base with them. Yeah, but right, it definitely like condoms or Laurels are definitely something that it's maybe not as impactful until you're able to see it, feel it, use it, right? And then you have that story.
Me and that product, man. That shit should be everywhere. Laurels is one of the. I know you and I obsess over this because you and I understand how.
Oh, I want to distribute for her, but right, everybody's business strategies don't align at the moment because everybody's. It's too risky to spend the money to expand right now because I think it honestly has more to say about the culture or society, whatever we live in right now, than it has to do with all the business strategies, right? I mean, I don't know what I don't know, but it's also like the amount of I see it in my numbers, the amount of just it's not the market's not growing, it's just switching, right? And I don't think that's a bad strategy, but I'm like, how do we end up growing definitely in things like sexual wellness? Like, honestly, I'm going to be a little shamey right now. I'm sorry, guys. Scroll if you don't want to see it. There's condoms in every single one of everybody's stores, but sometimes, it's hard to want to pay attention to my category because people just set it and forget it. But how can we be calling ourselves wellness anything if we're not supporting condoms? I don't know. But Leah's right, selling the crap out of the V soap. Commodities, you don't just have to sell whatever toys they came into. You need a reason for people. People want a reason to come back too. So you're a destination shop. I love that. Drea is also suggesting local groups on Facebook have been amazing for getting the word out, right? Like P3. How many people are on P3 now? I should know this. 4.4, like over 4,000. I remember when it was like 10 people. And this has blown up just since 2020. And it's interesting to think that it didn't exist before that for a very long time, right?
Hey, it's been a great resource for me, and since getting back into the industry, I remember I showed up trying to poach altitude booths in like February, March 2023, and first person I ran into was Stephanie Griffin at Pleasures, and was like, "Hey, I used to work for you." And she's like, "She's like, you're still alive?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got sober. Life's a lot better now." And
glad to see you made it.
Yeah, Skinner was he was already a fan of the show, so he put me in P3, and man, the second we were in this group, things just definitely skyrocketed for me. Everybody's here. It made it very easy to learn the industry and how the industry works and the preferences and needs and differences from other places I've been, and be able to apply them here. So I've been really grateful for this group. Paul's awesome and Molly's awesome, and I love to see how it's grown.
Oh, me too. I mean, I'd have nowhere to rope my friends into whatever I'm doing right now without it. Right? It helps me. You guys are keeping me sane. We've talked about this all the time. I'll cry another time. Okay. I had one more question, and then everybody else can have questions. If you had to pick one area, right? We've talked about a lot of areas where we're retailers or e-tailers. Where do you think we all need to be working on upping our game to have to finish out 2025 right now? Like where do you think it would be?
Consumer outreach.
All right.
Consumer outreach and education. The only real sex toy ads I see, and maybe it's because I'm in Vegas, like out in general society, is Pink Cherry. Dan is very good at that. That is a playbook that I look up to and I respect. But obviously, that's somebody I watch, and everybody should watch in the industry because that motherfucker knows how to make money. But it really is that consumer outreach. I think Pink Cherry is the company that has done that with the most effectiveness. I see Lovense doing that, as well as Womanizer doing that a lot more. You see Womanizer experiential trailers driving down the highway. People get a kick out of them. They go viral. So it really is about getting your brand in front of the consumer, especially for the brands that only sell in brick and mortar and don't do online. I do think it's up to the manufacturer to do just a little bit more marketing to send people to that retailer so that retailer can make bigger orders to the
right, like star like asterisk. There's always that whatchamacallit kind of debate between what is sales and what is marketing, and I'm just gonna like circle back and be like, this is where I remind everybody in the world of Tori, and this is my movie in my head, I'm right. Demand generation is a marketing function, right? So their job is typically to not just appeal to your customers you have now and their campaigns, but to make sure that they can get more consumers into those stores than any other place, right? So
well, and that was the industry mistake that I was in the middle of between the smoke and adult collaboration, is we didn't get the consumers on board first. We know historically that adult stores have a legend reputation of you can go get a cool bong for a better price over there, but we never did, none of us ever did a real consumer analysis to see where that crossover was. So picking up
because a lot of the data doesn't exist, or a lot of companies like you haven't had a chance to exist, right?
It will once I'm done with it.
Oh, I can't wait. Can we compare notes someday, some data? I'll show you mine if you show me yours. You don't keep everything you learn into a random spreadsheet with a map that you call your black book? I don't know.
Drea, when you say gonads, are you talking about my man tits?
I thought she was just talking about condoms in general.
Oh.
But I don't know. She is a whimsical mystery.
Oh, with the laurels.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody should be carrying that product. That product is, I think, when something new to the market, like completely like cock block, where there's never been anything like it, like I would really like to see the industry rally around things like that, especially those two products with such amazing people behind them, cock block and laurels, neither one of which have ever been a client of mine, by the way. Those are
like, you should see if you can business matchmake them. That would be hilarious. We'll follow you on the journey.
Well, what one I think is a godsend for lesbians, and the other one's a godsend for gay males. So I don't really know how much collaboration they have, because
hey, you don't know what you don't know. It's still right, like networking. This is great minds get together, and who knows what can happen.
Both of those companies, you can rest assured, I've tried to push them into every distribution channel that I know. I really believe in those.
Don't worry. We will be distributing her at some point. She just, things have changed in strategies, and not everybody needs a distributor because they want to stay close to their consumers, right? There's that threshold of where does it go, right? I don't know how to make that choice, but I respect it, right? Okay.
I really like Crave in that aspect. I think they do a really good job of balancing the B2B and consumer relationships at the same time.
And it's not easy to do. They're different messages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Important messages, but different, right? Like your business accounts need to know if it's going to make money, what the competition looks like, how much retail foot space it's going to be, what the trends are, blah, blah, blah. But just as importantly, they need to know why the consumer needs to care about it, right? So, why, what are the sales points? What are the differences?
Yeah, no, and I'm glad that we're talking about this too, because I've taken notes to do.
Are you adding to your to-do list?
Well, laurels and cockblock are both, like I said, two products that I really believe in, that I have the platform now to publish a couple blogs on them and do some media on them at no cost to them. Dude,
I have I could turn every single one of these episodes into a blog. I think some of them I have. I just know where to put it because I need a website. This is not the Tori whining show, but I was going to say, if we're writing down dreams for your websites and your blogs, where's my this is my handy dandy tool for selling all the time. I lecture with this one. It's the Friedman Group stuff. I was like, oh my God, I'd love to just put in the best sales, the formula there into an adult thing and be like, here is my mastermind selling brain. Because I feel like you get a lot of product knowledge training out there, which is important. You need to know, why do I care about this brand over this brand? What makes it special? But I don't know that there's a lot of how to sell it and deal with those hard conversations with people and make sure that you're asking the correct questions to figure out if you're selling the correct experience, right?
The thing I've learned is to shut the fuck up and just do it. We live in a world of ADHD, short form content, short attention spans. So wherever that consumer marketing is, you got to be able to get that point across in like a minute, and then hope that you can touch that same consumer again 6 or 7 other times with a different minute that gets your brand memorized and gets your brand stuck in their head. That's what I'm really excited about as we start boosting up our social media over here and we start collaborating with brands and influencers at the same time. Is just getting that short form content and then having it lead back to a place that has the long form content where we're going over every square inch of this toy, where we're going over every function of these nipple clamps and every little thing that the manufacturer wanted to bring up to the reviewer to tell the consumer. Yeah. Sorry. I lost my train of thought. Oh, ADHD. That was the point I was trying to make.
Case in point, we need short-term content because ADHD people will get on a tangent and then they forget what the point was in the first place. That's why I have notes.
Well, and that's always been a thing of mine, is trying to get just all the information over to them at once, when really you only need to get a couple key sticking points to make them want to learn more. And then
otherwise it's overwhelming, or it's like, I can't understand any of this. Fuck it, right? I'm not going to do it.
Correct.
I think it's funny that Blanca told us to work in silence and be a ninja. Psh, have you met me? I think our industry missed the point of social media. We can sell it with a 30-second clip.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, give the industry some grace. It's 50 years old compared to a lot of these other companies that are hundreds of years old.
Yeah, and then the ones of us that are in our 30s just walk and feel and talk like we're in our 50s anyway. So,
you know what? I told somebody that I'm like aging in reverse, not necessarily like look wise, but because I feel like I've always had like the soul of a 50-plus-year-old person anyways. So it's like I'm reversed. I'm finally like my soul is catching up with my face kind of situation, right? Because I always had like a mature looking face, even when I was like 16 years old, right? It was like the eyebrows or whatever. My daughter's going to have the same problem. I'd like sit down at the Olive Garden and they'd start pouring the house wine and I'd be like, hee, mom and dad, look it. And it was like, not funny. Nathan, you're not really in your 50s. It's the same thing. You've just finally caught up in the separate direction. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it because I said so.
See, that's funny that you say that, because when I think of Tori, I just think of a grown-up version of Michelle from Full House.
Well, then that's my other spirit. That's the 12-year-old gay man who I used to be before. You know, it's like when your souls just keep finding each other. I don't know. I don't think I'm on my 13th reincarnation, but at least another one. So that's like the child in me that's like never died. But also we have puns and potty jokes.
You got it, dude.
We need fresh blood. I'm a freaking boomer. What? No, you're not a boomer. She was compared to the cool mom from Mean Girls. Are you the cool mom? I'm not the cool mom. I'm not. All right. Do we have time? I'm kind of like went over our time a little bit. You want to do the rapid fires? Because they're cute for Instagrams if I ever get to it someday.
Oh, I don't have a meeting until 3. That's why I asked you to go an hour earlier. You have me.
Yeah, well, I try to not go too long because ADHD. But at least Blanca's here, so we will continue to amuse her.
This is the long form content. We clip this together and, all that kind of stuff.
Right. This is the shit you would only have access to on Patreon. Dun, dun,
I don't like this webcam because I feel like my eyes look like they're off track.
Wait, is this better?
No. It's my camera on my computer. Okay. I just feel like my eyes are.
Do you need a whatchamacallit guy? This light guy, the ring of destiny. Of light, do you need one of those guys?
My ring cam did break. I do need to get one.
See, you need it.
There was a solid 6 months there. I didn't want to hear the word influence or think about content creation. None of that. But ToyChats started paying me, and the check cashed, so now I'm into it again.
All right, you got to do what you got to do. Whatever puts food on the table. I just do this again, to catch up with my friends and not get depressed because I work at home, which is great, but also sometimes I need to make sure I'm talking to people. Oh my goodness, she's got bananas and squirrels instead of the I'm a cool mom. Oh, Blanca, we love you. Okay, rapid fire. So you're not supposed to think too long about it because ADHD, right? Okay, so if ToyChats were a condom, would you think it'd be ribbed, ultra thin, flavored? What sort of condom would ToyChats be?
Ultra thin.
Heck yeah.
Transparency to the point you're protected, but it still feels real.
Heck yeah, I like that. Authentic. Dun, dun, dun. One industry myth you'd love to bust.
One industry myth I would love to bust. That we need to be mean to China. I always said there was going to be one day that comes to roost, and this is more on the smoke side, but everybody has their Chinese manufacturing partner and they want to be mean to the rest of them. Come March, when all the tariffs hit, we learned that these guys are actually really valuable partners in what we do and that we can't make money without them. So
every job is important, right? In the cycle.
Yeah, I mean on the smoke side, but it exists on the adult side as well. I understand business between manufacturers, but I would like the myth that racism is necessary to just go the fuck away. We're all working with Chinese, all of us.
Yeah, period. Like it's kind of like the curtain's been lifted. You're not special.
You cannot make a vibrating motor in the United States.
No, you can't. You can't make a condom in the United States either.
Period.
People keep asking, and I'm like, sorry. There's these are your two choices, and those are the price breaks. And then I have people send me an address. Well, what is this? Oh, good sir, that is not public asset. That is owned by Church and Dwight, and they make whatever they want. Okay, like that's it. They bought the factory. There's nowhere to go.
Yep. So the myth that kind of behavior, that kind of language behind closed doors or in front of anybody is okay. I would just like to see that go away.
Yeah, I think just in general, there's a way to elevate your business and still take care of you and your team, but also you don't need to be so mean to the people that got you there or other people that are in different positions, right? Just figure out what the problem is. Be a good leader. Period. Exclamation point. Okay. So what would be your dream collab? Like your first one that you'd love to see on ToyChats? Who's your first target? When like, no, it's not going to happen. You're going to get it.
I have one that's going to get me in fucking trouble.
Okay, well, I don't want you to get in trouble.
We all know I'm about to do some dumb shit with a person.
Good news. No one watches my show anyways, unless you're like, driving or bored right now. So I don't know. You'll get too much trouble, or you'll get in so much trouble. This is how we go viral. Ta-da!
There we go. My dream collab with ToyChats would probably be bringing on an advertiser like Lion's Den or Romantics that is a national chain. Before we have targeted advertising, I want to be able to direct people into brick and mortar. Right now, we can't until we grow a little bit more and have some more development. We don't have targeted advertising like Facebook does, where you can pick the city and the state that it's going out to. So I would really like to link with one of those national retailer brands that carries these products in all stores, because as much as I can tell that we are going to be forwarding to online retailers and brand direct sites, my passion, my heart is in brick and mortar. And that is going to be the hardest group out of the industry to figure out how to cater to with ToyChats. So that would be that.
Great answer.
On the other side with the local retailers, the collabs that I kind of want to force into being a thing is figuring out a way that our reviewers can do their reviews from your store and just send you back a little bit of traffic. Like we're not trying to charge for that, but it would be really cool if in the review video, in the intro, there was your storefront, and this is the owner, and I'm doing it in his store. And, you know, if you happen to be in Sturgis, South Dakota, come see David Eliason at Dick and Jane's. Or, you know, if you're camping out in Centralia, Washington, turns out the guy with the campground also owns the sex store. Go visit him, type thing. So
kind of like when you go to, it's a bad example because I don't know if they still do it, but back in the day, you would go to like astroglide.com, and consumers can't buy direct from astroglide.com. But they'd be like, hey, we'll send, like, do you want to go to CVS or Walmart or wherever? And then like Google Maps pops up near their area. It'd be cool to be able to do that, you know, in less of a robotic way, but more in a like, okay, where are you? I'll help you find a local retailer, right?
Yeah, and I mean the store locators, those can get manufacturers in trouble too, because I know what I do.
Like they're favoriting anything.
It was like, well, if they're carrying that brand, I bet they carry mine too. So I know the store locators do.
Which is why we don't have a lot of this joint information that we need as an industry that you're talking about, right? Like at the end of the day, I get why people make those decisions, and they're not wrong. But also now we can't. Nobody shares any information, and it's very hard to even pinpoint where every store is because you can't just buy a Nielsen report. Everybody's tax code is completely different, right? You could have one that's an entertainment place when another is a retail place.
Yeah. 100%.
That was my soapbox on that. Okay.
Well, it's important to us to get feedback so that, like, we know what we're doing. We are new company.
No, I think it's brilliant. I just want to make sure you succeed. So let me know how I can help. I'm invested as well. I want to know what's actually trending or not.
The way to help us succeed, advertise with us. I mean, I'm going to be calling you to figure out which condom I should pinpoint. But I know that you've got a company that you work with that puts a little bit more into advertising into the stuff than others that's trying to get on. I want to get on with them. You know, the cool thing about being a venture capital company is if you buy advertising with us, I'm going to be able to throw a lot more resources behind you in these early days than we would otherwise for that money, because we really want to set up that relationship to thrive and, you know, create an inbound system. So
no, and fair, I might not have a huge budget, like, right, some of us don't have all the resources, but that doesn't mean we still can't be resourceful together, right? Like there's ways to make things still happen regardless of whatever. That was just me reaching out to everybody, being like, remember, don't get you know, discouraged because you're like, well, now I have no resources. How am I supposed to do that? Don't let the voice win. There's things you can do.
And the only thing we sell right now at this point in time are advertising banners. We the reviews are honest, so those have to be free. So send us all the toys you can. We'll put them in our arsenal. And then blogs too. We're putting out a lot of blog posts, which are good for SEO, which are good for social media collaboration. If you've got a cool story about your about the way your company came up or how you operate, or if you donate this much to whatever cause, or hit us up. Let's get that story out to the consumer. That is also a no-cost thing. Yeah, just wherever you can rally around this concept, we'll rally back around you as we grow. This company is seeing 50% growth in homepage impressions every month.
He's got the stats you can take back to your boss.
We are growing. So yeah, it's just as much feedback as we can get, as many ideas as we can get, as much as, hey, the industry needs this and your platform might be a good way for that. As long as it's consumer facing and bringing people back to spending money in the industry, I personally don't have a horse in the race to which company that is with. A little bit of favorite to whoever jumps on as advertisers or, you know, old clients, but we just want to see the industry thrive, and we want to see consumers be comfortable. And if we can make consumers comfortable and more confident in their purchases, that will mean better numbers for the distributors, the stores, the manufacturers on the other side.
Yeah, like it's win-win for everybody. If we're not selling, then people are not producing. If we're not producing, then we can't sell. Like all of the things. It's a circle of life of business.
Yeah. So I do hope that the manufacturers and the master distributors will trust us to take the message to the consumer and then push that back through the store distributor up the ladder. and we'll all make money.
So if you weren't in this industry, what totally different career would you have? Just like,
I mean, I'd have my old one. I'd be in sports marketing still. I do miss that industry a lot. COVID killed that, which is why I decided to say, you know, I was a 420 rock star back then. I want that old life back and to see where it leads. Had that old life for a couple of years, but this is the return on investment here for the adult industry is going to be so much more than what I was doing before. And it will be a return on what a lot of us were trying to do before. We collectively, with me as the lead account manager, fucking running on, we simply skipped the fucking consumer part on the smoke side. And a lot of that business is still there for a lot of us. We just need to attack it right. And that starts with the consumer stuff. So trust me, there will be a couple bongs, a couple little vape devices, stuff like that thrown into these reviews. And you know, maybe in 3 or 5 years, that B2B dream will happen again, to where there is consumer demand in an adult store for smoke products to get your bottom line up there more. The smoke industry also has a lot that it needs to figure out right now with the 7-hydroxy and all the consumables that are really becoming a liability for that industry as a whole. And we don't need to pull the adult industry into right now. I think you all should carry vapes. I think you all should carry kratom. But now that we're talking about 7-hydroxy and 4-ACO-DMT disguised as mushrooms, and this new nootropic Xanax shit that's coming out, I can't put my name on any of that. I don't think you should sell anything in your store that could hurt somebody. I think the line is enhancement pills, and if it does anything more to you and your body chemistry than that, I don't think it should be sold in adult retail or even smoke retail. So I do want to encourage the cannabis crossovers and the bongs and the vape hardware and the stuff that really promotes harm reduction, which does include kratom. But
and condoms.
The consumer has to lead that. So I'm not giving up on any of my old goals. I've been back to the original conversation, that this project started for me when I was trying to get Fred Gates to carry bongs and Broadway pleasures, and telling him, hey, if you carry bongs, I came here with a following from my comedy days, I can sell them. And you know what he did? He never fucking did it. But 10 years
out for him. Just kidding.
10 years later, I still think that is an exceptionally good idea. I think that it breaks the social stigma for a lot of people to get them more comfortable to talking about a fleshlight, to talking about a marital aid. And it's good for all of us. So I hope on the consumer level that I'll be able to marry those two ideas, but more so what I'm looking for is just broad positive outcomes for the adult industry, whatever those may look like. They just start with the consumer.
Yeah, I love that. Seems like we could wrap this all up and like just work hard but be smart.
We can do what?
Like if just pop that whole thing into a little bubble. My TLDR in my head was like summaries. Like you need to work hard but be smart about it right now, right?
Yeah.
Make it make sense. Okay. Now we have to wrap up. So this is the final question, because I've already gone over time and I've had fun, but also I have other work to do, and I think you do too. But this is fun, and we'll play it again.
I think we've got pretty good viewership for a Facebook Live and a private group. So
right. So I mean, I'll take it. Right. If only one person, if it's our 5 friends that we keep inspired, you know what? I'll take that. That's like I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
Oh, I got to tell my Rodney story though.
Oh, yes. Tell us the Rodney story, and then think about the wrap-up question, which is like, what's a piece of wisdom you want to leave with the audience? Like, what's like your sign-off, say la vie, right? But also tell us Rodney's story.
So Rodney has been in the Circuit Smith over at SOS Distribution, Fuck Brands, and all those guys.
We love those guys.
Yes, he has been
Tom
talking.
was sending me pictures of a possum and like videos of this little baby possum, and me and my kids were just going nuts. Sorry to interrupt. I had to talk about the possum.
No, you're good. So he moved to Vegas recently, and we've been talking about this for months. I mean, I've been so excited. Me and Rodney get along really well. And so the other night, we went out. It was his daughter's 13th birthday, and I have some entertainment plugs, so I was able to get us some comp tickets to that Tape Face show I'm bringing everybody to.
Oh, fun!
Went out, had an excellent time talking about, yeah, man, we're gonna hit the road. We're gonna sell some enhancements and point of sale systems to the same shop, all this other shit. And he's like, hey, do you want to come over? You know, after this, we'll eat some cake, smoke some weed. Well, he doesn't smoke, but you know, Kalia, have fun. Hell yeah, dude. His kids are awesome, by the way. Those two deserve a Parent of the Year award. But we go back and tell me why this motherfucker lives across the street from me, practically.
Oh my goodness! So neighbor for real, neighbor. That rocks. And you had no idea. Like you just moved there, but you didn't do the where did you move until like just recently.
I go out the exit of my neighborhood instead of going on the main street. If I go straight, I'm in Rodney's neighborhood. So
wow! Oh, I love this for you guys.
Yes. Oh,
you have sleepovers and I don't know. What do you guys do when you guys hang out? Do you sports or do you talk about sales? Do you go sports? Which sports?
Actually, the bonding shit between him and I, other than sex toys, is he's a really big horror movie fanatic.
Okay.
I'm not a horror movie buff, but I am a theater kid. And lately I've been doing some small parts and shorts and underground horror movies to get my, that's been like my hobby lately. So
you got to practice your craft.
People that I go ask to about that. Oh yeah, they love casting me as the monster and the bad guy, being 6'5", you know.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be fun. I can't wait. I'm going to go find your clips now or make you send them to me.
There's a feature length I was just in that I was just an extra in, but one of my songs is featured in. What's that movie called?
Dude, where's my car? Just kidding.
No, Sky Ulabar is the star of it. Man, I'm bad at this. It's a good thing I didn't star in the movie. My phone's
a good thing I didn't star.
Up here reading the comments, but yeah, I did that, and then I was also the bad guy in a short called Triggerhead, which is just like a 9-minute film where a whole bunch of people go on vacation and they all get murdered for being dumb kids. By a giant in a scarecrow mask, and I'm that giant in the scarecrow mask. So,
ooh, dun dun dun.
Yeah, but that is my Rodney story. Infernal is the name of the movie, starring Sky Ulabar and I can't remember anything right now. I got so much going on between Lifelong and between Toy Chats. My bandwidth is short, so.
It's okay. We'll wrap it up here soon because doesn't mean you can't come back on because we'll have to be like, hey, how's it going? What sort of interesting insights have you come up with?
So,
okay, is that like your wise word of wisdom? What do you want to leave the audience with tonight? What's your like mic drop for everybody?
I mean,
it's not even tonight, but I guess it will be.
I think the mic drop right now is just know your lane and never give up. Don't be afraid. Yeah. Don't be afraid to look crazy with some of your decisions if you know that they're right for you. I've looked like an absolute insane man for the last 8 months, but it's all coming together the way I manifested it would, knew it would, and thought it would. And there's a lot of things that were keeping me up at night that don't anymore, and I'm really glad that I followed my gut on it. So.
Oh, that's a hard one, being able to trust yourself. So, I'm proud of you. Not that you needed my affirmations or asked for my opinion, but keep kicking ass, my friend. Seriously, thank you for coming on. I'm going to drag you on again. If anybody is out there and they have a topic they'd like to discuss, or you actually want to come on and I will interview you and we'll have fun times, please. The show is for your guys and for my mental health. Thank you again, Cam. Everybody check out toychats.com. I will go back and make a link because that was what we're talking about. If you're just tuning in, we're working on building smarter connections with better resources, and Cam's going to help lead this for us.
I do have one last thing. This Kermit, I am still over at Lifelong Merchant Services. I've placed 5 machines this month, which usually we only see about 1 or 2 a month out the door. It's a hard thing to sell. Square's shutting people down. Clover's being assholes. Everybody's trying to be the morality police again. So if you're a retailer, hit us up. If you're on a cash register, hit us up. Any Square Lightspeed, any Bolt, let us give you some purpose-driven hardware. Hit me up. We'll get it moving, and then possibly send some influencers to your store to do that thing too. It all kind of works off each other. But don't forget about the POS thing. It's really important, and we've really saved a lot of stores' asses so far getting it in there. Mostly,
that's a huge topic too. Because I'm curious to see, right? I think whatever came down, Trump said that major credit card companies like Square and Visa, whatever, need to go back and reassess this. I wonder if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing for the industry. Right? Because a lot of people got kicked, as you were saying, because they either had something adult or they had cannabis or CBD or something like that. And now supposedly you're supposed to go back and make sure you weren't biased on any of those things. So
for the industry, hopefully, if you go to, and that is detrimental to us and lifelong. Our company exists because Square sucks.
But is it because, I don't know, I'm sure you guys can turn that being like, yeah, they had to reassess, but guess who's been here the whole time, right?
Well, with our purpose-driven hardware, with our software that was made for smoke shops, it also works really well for liquor stores and adult boutiques. That kind of stuff will keep us on top. I mean, we have 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. Eastern time, in-house support, a whole bunch of stuff that the bigger guys can't offer. But from a point of view that wants to see retail stores stay open and thriving, which isn't always will be my thing. It is a good thing. If you go to Canada, we don't do Canadian business at Lifelong because Canada doesn't have this problem. And the most important part of your store is that point of sale, being able to take money in. All those products are useless to you if you don't have a method of selling them. So I do hope that's the case. It would make it a lot easier for everybody else. In the meantime, we will enjoy the profits that they don't want. There's a lot of money to be made in that 2-3%. We'll take it, and we'll make sure that stores are operating off of that.
Right. No bias here.
You're going to pay it to Square. You're going to pay it to us. And we actually, Kermit owns a couple vape shops. I'm trying in the process of opening adult stores. We got 2 empty rooms right now,
You'll get there.
Yeah. And a lot more people would get there if there were easier point of sale options. We do our best over at Lifelong, but if the big guys wanted to get their heads out of their ass and actually support brick and mortar retail across the board, that would be the right way to go. Until then, I'm appreciating them financially on my own personal level by staying dumb about it,
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, again, who knows if it will disrupt that side of your industry at all, right? Stay tuned, but it's just interesting.
Over here, if that happens over here at Lifelong, we will be fine. Kermit will continue with Vapors Alley. We'll continue with retail. If the government wants to make it easier for payment processing, we're more than happy to see that happen, even if it's at our own detriment. At the end of the day, the most important thing is brick and mortar retail.
We got you guys. We believe in you.
You got it, dude.
You got it, dude. All right. And fingers crossed that the Wi-Fi gods are kind tomorrow. I will restream this, and then potentially you guys are going to get a fun behind the scenes bonus little situation with me bugging Nathan, and we stuff gift bags for the show he's dragging me to, and I ask him questions about event planning, because why not? But I don't want to promise anything because the Wi-Fi gods have not been nice to me recently, so we'll see how it goes.
I'll teach you how to use CapCut later.
Okay, this sounds amazing. All right, guys, everybody's been great. Cam, thank you for coming again. Everybody who supports this little web stream and wants to be a part of it. Again, I see you, I appreciate you, and I'm not being too mushy today, but also it's a day to just be real sometimes, right? So I do appreciate you guys being here. Yes, Nathan is dragging me, right? I know. He's hilarious. He thinks he's funny. Whatever. This is where I sign off now. Good night, Nathan. I'll see you guys later. Mwah!